A new law in Illinois looks to limit student distractions in the classroom by banning phone use in schools. WGEM Sydney Lyerly joins us now to break down the new piece of legislation and what requirements schools will need to follow. Sydney?
Olivia, Illinois Governor J.B. Prtizker signed the bill into law today, restricting students from using cell phones or other personal devices during bell-to-bell hours. Districts will need to allow exceptions for high school students, children with IEPs, emergencies, or when the device is used for translation. Governor Prtizker says the hope is to eliminate distractions so students and teachers can focus on learning.
The students are distracted. Teachers sometimes have trouble getting students' attention. Principals are experiencing disruption that smartphones create throughout the school day. Parents have been concerned and have seen cyberbullying and, of course, the mental health impact that social media and phone usage are having on our kids.
Schools will not be allowed to use fines, suspensions, or law enforcement to enforce the ban. Every district will need to have a plan in place by the 2027-2028 school year. Olivia?
Thank you, Sydney. The law requires school districts to review policies at least once every 3 years and to consult with teachers, unions, parents, and community members in making revisions.